Hello, I am so excited to get to say this to you again. Happy Monday and welcome to the Monday Minute. I am Rita Ernst. I'm the author of Show Up Positive. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been with you. I've been traveling. I thought about doing the replay shows like I did before, and I'm sorry if I disappointed you by not showing up for 2 Mondays in a row, but there was just too much chaotic stuff going on. And sometimes we just have to take care of ourselves, right? But I am back from beautiful Milan and Como, Italy. I've got this gorgeous scarf that I found in Como made of Como silk. It's all bright and sunny and giving me all kinds of positive vibes. If you are out with me today, if you're watching, please jump into the chat and say hello. I'm sorry I did not get this up and listed sooner for you to find it. So a lot of you are probably going to catch this on replay. I hope you're catching it on replay because I want to share all of this amazing information that I received while I was in at the World Happiness Summit in Como, Italy. It was everything that I hoped it would be. I have so much exciting stuff to share with you. So let's get started. I'm not going to give you a show up positive spark for this week other than be joyful. This week, it's spring break here where I am. So I get a little more recovery time because that whole transition from European to US time zone is definitely messing with me. But so I'm happy to say, let's be joyful. Let's celebrate the progress that is happening across the world around positivity and happiness. And let's find that within our own lives and celebrate that as well. And I hope you will post a celebratory post on your social media and tag me, whether you're catching me on Facebook or Insta or LinkedIn or wherever. Please tag me and let me know that you're sharing this. But okay, so here are some key things that I learned while I was attending the World Happiness Summit, which is hands down the best conference I have ever attended in my life. So if you have a chance to join in live or virtually, I hope that you will take it in the future and join me because I can't imagine a year I will not be at Oahu going forward. So, one of the key things that I learned, and this is science, this is not opinion, this is studied fact. Happiness is important. We often think about happiness as some touchy feely, squishy thing, but it is actually concretely measurable. And here are some facts about happiness that I walked away from the summit knowing. One is that, oh, wait, I'm on the wrong page of my little notebook. I have so many notes in here to share. This one question overall, how satisfied are you with your life these days? Overall, how satisfied are you with your life these days? That one question predicts these three essential things. Lifespan, people who respond positively to this question, that who are very satisfied with their lives, on average live 9 years longer. This, in and of itself, is a huge reason to pursue happiness. 9 more years of life, right? And that's something of value. Political campaigns, people who respond that they are more satisfied, impact re-elections. So they are more likely to re-elect the official in office. So our government leaders, there's a reason for them to care about happiness because it's going to keep them in office. And it really takes that knitting together of our personal work, our community work, our government, our school systems, right, to really create happiness and well-being in a rich way in our society. And then the last one, your answer to that question also predicts divorce. Not too surprising there, but imagine that. So we are measuring happiness through this one question, and we are finding strong correlation to these things: lifespan, divorce rates, reelection rates. So happiness is important to us. And my focus is happiness in the workplace because we spend a third of our lives at work, and work should be this place that is really providing so much energy and fulfillment for us. And that is my purpose in life, is to work with organizations and help them bring that forward. And here are a few facts that I learned about drivers of workplace well-being. And I think you're going to feel the connections immediately to the Show Up Positive movement. So there are 4 key measures of workplace well-being that are actually statistically significant to whether or not people are happy and productive at work. And those are, one, their happiness at work. And a lot of that has to do with belonging and social stuff that we work on in our behaviors in the Show Up Positive movement. The second piece is satisfaction with your job. So you got to be doing work that you want to be doing, that you find personally gratifying. It's not surprising. And I work with organizations all the time around how do you structure roles and align people. You can find the best talent, but you got to sometimes work to get them in the best role at this moment for them. So I love helping organizations do that. The third is absence of stress. Absence of stress. And in our Show Up Positive work, we are working on managing our own stress differently by the way we are choosing to show up in the world. So instead of being buffeted by all the external stuff all the time, really getting ourselves grounded in our own strength to bring our own positive bank account with us, which helps us in that stress. And then the last piece is purpose at work. And of course, a lot of the Show Up Positive book talks about this importance of people having purpose at work and what an essential driver that is. And you really have to be filling your cup to really be able to stay connected into that purpose. So there's so much that coalesces together. But the two biggest drivers of workplace well-being, number 1 and number 2. Number 1, you're not going to be surprised. And shout out to Paul Hari, who is one of my great LinkedIn connections, who is a master of belonging, and that is belonging. Belonging is the number 1 driver. Of course, it is one of the behaviors that we talk about in the Show Up Positive book, but belonging is really at this overall sense of the work that we are doing. And then number 2 is flexibility. And I think we are seeing this conversation happening across LinkedIn, the importance of well-being. And I think it's going to continue to trend, and flexibility is essential to people. The other drivers: trust, appreciation, learning, inclusion, purpose. Of course, compensation is in there. Compensation is really, I call it, it's a hygiene factor. It's a dissatisfier when it's not right. It's not going to motivate you, but it is going to become an impediment when it is not correct. And I certainly have some clients I'm working through those issues with right now. The other big piece of news that I get to share early is the World Happiness Report released while we were in Como, and I got a sneak peek at the results that haven't been shared very broadly. And these are 4 key results from the report that I want us all to be celebrating together. I hope you're feeling joyful about this as well. Number 1, positive social connections and support in 2022 were twice as prevalent as loneliness. Social connection and support twice as prevalent last year as loneliness amongst the respondents. That's huge. So thank you for all that you are doing to show positivity by how you show up every day, because you're showing people a path that they are taking. And those results span 7 countries and 6 global regions. Across individuals and countries, there is a positive relationship between happiness and altruistic behavior. One of the foundations of Show Up Positive is you start by doing this freely with no expectations of anyone else. You don't say, well, if so-and-so will change, I'll change. You're not waiting. You're not making it conditional. You are taking action for yourself and making your positive stand available to everyone in your community, in your center around you. And that is altruism. So there is a positive relationship between feeling happy and that kind of altruistic behavior. So I hope you're feeling that. I would love to hear your stories about that. This one I love. Helping behavior increases the well being of the helper, especially when that behavior is voluntary and motivated by concern for the person being helped. So we talk about, helpful as one of our show up positive sparks. It's as is gratitude, as is appreciation. These are all altruistic behaviors when you aim them toward other people and you share that freely with other people and you are helping them. You are extending your hand of help. Sometimes that is psychological help. Sometimes that is emotional help. And sometimes that is physical, tactical help. But they're all versions of help. And what we know is that those helping behaviors are actually improving your well-being. And I bet you're feeling that. I know I am feeling that. And then the last piece is that when people's well-being arises through experiencing that help, they in turn pay it forward as well. So we create this virtuous cycle where people, and this is what I talked about in the book, right? You become this beacon and people join you and you're a ripple and it moves out and it moves out. That's a virtuous cycle, what I call the ripple effect. So all of this is proven in the data from the World Happiness Report. So we are not just pretending to do something. We are just not thinking we're doing something that's making a difference. We are statistically, measurably doing things that are making a difference for our own well-being and the well-being of the people around us. And I am just beyond excited to share that news with you. So I have one other thing. I know I'm going long. I'm going to pop this into the stream in the chat for you. There is a manifesto, a happiness manifesto that is a call to action to bring together government and communities and individuals and creating systemic change that is based upon what we have been able to identify through research as the statistically significant ways that we can increase well-being. Happiness is a component of well-being, but well-being across our lives, across the world, across our generations. And I encourage you and I welcome you to go to the worldhappinesssummit.com, and then you will see the link for the manifesto. It's very short to read the manifesto. And if this excites and activates you the way it does me, please add your signature to this. There are so many people who are part of the WAHASU organization that are lobbying and working with NGOs and government agencies and really trying to make well-being a new standard of how we care for our communities and for ourselves. So I have so many more things that I will be sharing. If you are not a part of my Monday email, I would encourage you to get on that list. You can go to igniteextraordinary.com and just scroll down a little ways and it says join my email list. I do not spam you. It is not a funnel. I am not going to be trying to sell you, but I will be sharing more and more information from my trip to Como and all the learnings that I had in my Monday conversation. These are a little brief. I'm already going long, so I got to get off of here. But I hope you feel my enthusiasm. I hope you will match my enthusiasm for everything that I learned and where we are moving forward. We're going to keep the Show Up Positive movement going. I ask you to share, start posting about this, and really getting dialed in. Make sure that you're following me, LinkedIn, ring the bell so you see all the posts, and let's keep this movement going forward. All right, until next Monday, have a fabulous week. Thank you so much for being here with me today on the Monday Minute. I'll see you again. Bye.